Hello friends. Today I will introduce you to the movie Blood Punch. Early in the morning, Milton woke up and ran to the bathroom to vomit. The camera above the tub caught Milton's attention. The character on the main screen is himself calmly cutting off his finger. A frightened Milton immediately examined his hands. He looked even more suspicious at his healthy hands. When he himself on the screen had begun to tell Milton the cause of the result. Time to go back to the night before. Milton is an apologetic young man at the rehab center. It was just, the center of that day had an uninvited guest. She is Skylar. She appears in the center with high heels, and a very proud attitude. Skylar sat with the apologetic crowd. But couldn't feel herself wrong. On the contrary, she came to the center wanting to find someone who could make opium for her. Coincidentally, Milton was a chemical genius. The two chased their roommates out to have space together. Milton decided he would try it himself for Skylar. But just out of the room, he met Russell. He was in a police uniform and looking for Milton. Because he knew he was capable of turning stones into gold. Seeing a maniacal figure and a gun in Russell's hand, he knew he had no way of retreat. All the way, Milton could sit in the back seat watching them intimately in the car. Finally, the car stopped in front of a log house in the woods. Russell shares belongings with Milton. Knowing that Milton was with Skylar, he wanted Milton to prove he didn't love Skylar. Using the arrow shoot the apple placed on top of her head. He pointed to the head with a gun, and made Milton do what he said. Milton really didn't dare do this. While the two were struggling, Skylar took a gun, and shot down a cigarette from Milton's mouth. After a while, they were a bit dumbfounded by the medicine. All three people began to give birth to hallucinations. Russell started bragging about his method of making medicine. Starting in ancient times, the above-mentioned Dharma master has noble blood of Native Americans. It turns out that this forest was once the territory of the shaman. Based on the legend recounted, this territory once happened a protracted war. Everyone was slaughtering each other in the moonlight to the point where blood flowed into a river, leaving only one person left. He became the owner of this territory, and also the ancestor of Russell. Milton was listening, when suddenly there was a drop of blood on his hand. That startled him to wake up. Milton doesn't make a clear distinction between what is virtual and what is real. He went out of the room. Seeing Skylar's unhappy face, Milton's heart began to waver again. At this point, Russell appeared urging Milton to start the main job. He took the documents down to the office to begin the experiment. Russell waited outside, happily cutting firewood. Milton completed more than half of the experiment. Russell was still angry about Milton and his girlfriend. So he took out a gun and tried to kill Milton. Milton appealed in fear, saying the experiment lacked a final step. It is a secret method only he knows. But surprisingly, Russell spoke fluently about that method. Thankfully, Skylar got all the bullets out first. Milton quickly escaped from the room. At the moment, Russell lifted his axe wanting to kill Milton. Skylar promptly shot Russell with a bow and arrow. Late at night, Milton dug his body. When Russell suddenly woke up to remind Milton. Maybe Milton doesn't want to know. Why did he know that secret method of preparation? He told Milton to go find Skylar. Milton frantically covered Russell's body with dirt and sand, then unconsciously returned to his room. Then he falls asleep. The next morning, Milton awoke again on the sofa. He ran back to the toilet to vomit. As soon as he walked out of the room, Russell appeared again. Milton fell on the spot in fear. Seeing Skylar's calm face, he understood she knew what happened yesterday. It was just that Russell was still alive right in front of him. He rushed to the dirt hole in the garden. Even more frightening, Russell was buried last night still in the pit. So what is Russell present in front of him? He and Russell replayed the scene from yesterday, think that God has given himself a chance to correct the mistake. But Milton forgot the fact that Russell wanted to kill him. Just like that, Russell didn't hesitate to stab a knife at Milton. Skylar calmly comforts Milton, tomorrow all will be better. The next day, Milton awoke again on the sofa. There's no wound on his body. To have more time to find out, they decided to kill him. But every day Russell is like an appointment that comes. Not patient enough, they finally decided to drive and leave. But even if he drove day and night, the next morning woke up in that room, it was still Tuesday. Milton began to pay attention to the legend that Russell told him. If the legends are true, they might have accidentally activated the curse of the Native American magician. They use force to get more information. But Russell also failed to provide any helpful clues. Skylar's attitude of not caring about life and death had helped Milton discover something. Skylar took Milton to the ravine. He was shocked to find that his corpse was very much there. Even though Milton knew the truth, Milton did not blame Skylar. If traveling by car cannot escape the magician's territory, they can escape by plane. Speaking of planes, Skylar remembered Archer, her first boyfriend. He is the oligarch of the reactionary organization. Eventually, Archer died under Skylar's gun. But she and Milton were both wounded in the wilderness. All incidents are recorded by car camera. The next day, the two woke up as they were usually in the wooden room. They are happy to hug each other because they are resurrected. Through all this, Skylar began to advise Milton to accept fate. Anyway, waking up every day is not a bad thing. They can stay in the ravine to keep the youth and happiness alive. Milton looked unacceptable. When he came to the car to check at night, he saw the journey time, discovered that on November 12, it continued for more than 40,000 hours. Based on this calculation, they slept in the ravine for 5 years. According to the legend, that all the people killed in the ravine will have only one survivor. To end this cycle, only one person can live. From this finding, the two of them started to warn each other. Milton didn't have the heart to kill Skylar, so he hid all the bullets. But Skylar found the ammunition that Russell left the day before to kill Milton. Then drive to find Archer. She carried the mine pretending to die with Archer. In the end, she got a lot of money, then went on her way. Skylar entered the hotel in bed, surrounded by lots of money. She lit a lot of matches, watching the fire wait for dawn. Early the next morning, Skylar woke up in the wooden room again. It turns out Milton had shot a reminder video first. He reminded himself in the reality to be wary of Skylar. So yesterday, he didn't kill Russell as usual and tied him up. So even if Milton dies, the curse remains. While the two clashed, Russell stepped in and tied them up. If only one person can live and leave at the end of the curse, then they should give destiny to the god. He pulled his gun and put it in a round-robin bullet. At first, Russell died. The other two are devoted to life. Milton successfully stole the gun. Although he knew that Skylar was fake, Milton had no way of killing Skylar. In the end, he chooses to kill himself, so that Skylar safely leaves this place. By this time Skylar also truly shed tears at Milton. She regretted, blamed herself. Wednesday morning is finally coming. But when she opened her eyes she saw Archer and Nabiki. The two of them were discussing how to kill Skylar. She did not show any fear, even asked to die. Seeing Skylar a bit crazy, they finally pulled a gun and pointed it at Skylar. The movie here has also ended. Maybe everyone knows how to respect each other after dying. Having lost Milton, Skylar discovered she had lost the most cherished love of her life. In the end, she chooses death to pay for her own actions. Thank you for watching the movie with me. Please click follow to receive the latest notice. See you later in many interesting movies.